Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am introducing a new series into my channel, which I'm really excited to film. Basically, it is going to be a vlogging series, as most of my series will be on my channel. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading 5 books based on 5 different personality traits and characteristics of a specific star sign. And on top of that, I am going to be doing regular, non-bookish things that this specific star sign is more accustomed to doing. So this video is for Taurus. That is Noah's star sign, so I kind of figured I would just start with that one. And yes, so I have 5 prompts that are based on 5 characteristics that I saw on a website for Tauruses, and then I spent a lot of time figuring out 5 different activities or 5 different non-bookish things that I could do during this vlog as well to make myself just fully Taurus. I'm just gonna immerse myself. Let's start with the bookish prompts and the books that I'm going to be reading. So the first character trait that I saw is basically a Taurus is someone who wants to provide comfort to others. So basically I made up a prompt, and it's going to be a book with a main character who provides comfort to one or more side characters. So for this, I have chosen one of the Goodreads books, actually. I completely revamped everything I was doing for this vlog and started fresh. So if you saw some of the books from my TBR video that you think, oh, she's going to read those, I'm not. So the first book that I'm choosing is Now Is Everything by Amy Giles. And this is a book about a girl who comforts her younger sister and keeps her younger sister safe from their abusive father. So I figured this fits perfectly for a Taurus because a Taurus is someone who wants to provide comfort, and that's exactly what our main character does. So that is going to be a great read for this. The next trait is gets violent mood swings. I decided to do a book with a main character who has violent mood swings or violent tendencies. So for this, I decided to choose one that's been on my radar for so long, and that is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. So this is about a girl who knows how to kill somebody because her older sister Anna was murdered and the killer walked free. She's angry, she's upset, she's hurting, so she is taking it out on other people. I thought it would be a lot of fun to read this one, and I think it fits very well with the gets violent mood swings. Next characteristic is avoids crowded places. So I decided to pick a book with a main character who is kind of an introvert. So I will be reading Radio Silence for this. This is a book that I am buddy reading with my friends. They've all started already. I'm just still vibing with it. But I figured that would be perfect for an introverted person because basically it is about 2 people from school who become very good friends, and I think they start a podcast together. The next character trait was will 100% hold you when you cry. I decided to pick a book where the main character just needs a hold while they cry. For this, I'm choosing Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Skelsa, I believe it is. This is about 3 people who are all dealing with their own different situations, their own problems. And they all come together and they all comfort each other and they're all there for each other and hold each other when they need comfort. And I think that fits perfectly with that prompt. And I'm very excited to read this. It's been on my radar for a while now, so I have an excuse to read it now. Finally, the last characteristic was they have an anger that goes from 0 to 100 very quickly. So for this, I decided to make the prompt a book where the main character suffers from extreme anger and wants revenge. So for this, I'm choosing an arc that I got approved for NetGalley that I have been hoping to read this month, and that is These Vengeful Hearts. This is a story about revenge. I believe this girl's sister got murdered and now she wants to take it out on this little society that she believed did it, that takes place at their boarding school. So it has a lot of elements that I love. That wasn't a great way to describe it, but yes, I did get approved for an arc of this on NetGalley, so this isn't released yet. I do need to get to it, so I think it's perfect to include it in this vlog. Now for the non-bookish things that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing 2 activities, and then I'm going to be watching 1 movie, and then there are 2 different things that I'm just going to try, if that makes sense. So I'll start off by saying that I was on this article and it said if a Taurus was going to be a piece of clothing, they would be a pair of sweatpants. So while I'm reading, if I'm not at work, I'm going to be completely in sweatpants the whole time. The second thing that I saw was that if a Taurus was a Starbucks drink, they would be a cinnamon dolce latte. So I am going to be ordering a cinnamon dolce latte and drinking it while reading one of the books. Now this is going to be interesting because I don't love coffee. We'll see what happens. Next thing I saw was that if a Taurus was going to be a movie, they would be a teen movie, sorry. They would be 16 candles. And this is perfect because this is a movie I've never actually seen before. I'm going to be renting and watching 16 candles. Now for activities. So there was an article I saw that had Taurus sports and hobbies, like the perfect sports and hobbies for Tauruses. So the first one on that list for sports was golf. And your girl doesn't golf. Your girl doesn't pay money to go spend time with middle-aged white men. So I decided to put my own little spin on it, and Noah and I are gonna go mini golfing. There's an outdoor mini golf course that's about 25-ish minutes away from our house. So we're just gonna do that. And that is going to be us going golfing. So that'll be in the vlog. And the hobby that they said that Taurus would love is gardening. And if you've been on my channel, you know that I've mentioned that everything I touch that is a plant dies within 5 seconds. So this should be interesting. So that is what this vlog is. This is me immersing myself in the Taurus lifestyle. You will not catch updates from me as often as you would in a normal vlog. I will pretty much update you starting the book, 50% of the way into the book, and the end, so that I don't get so overwhelmed with everything. That is going to be me being a Taurus for, I think it's probably going to take me a week to read these 5 books, maybe a little bit longer. So this is going to be a very interesting vlog. I'm very interested to see how this turns out. So I'm going to be starting these Vengeful Hearts tonight, and I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get 50% of the way in by tomorrow, let's say, so that you guys can have another update. And tomorrow I'll be starting my first task for the non-part. Yeah, so I'll be in sweatpants, I will be drinking my cinnamon dolce latte, and I will just be being a Taurus. What's up? I am halfway into these Vengeful Hearts, which truthfully was not something I thought I'd be able to say today. So it's basically about this girl named Ember, who, her sister is paralyzed from the waist down. And she was made that way by this group called, I forget what they're called, but that doesn't even matter. And essentially, Ember is trying to take revenge on these girls for what they did to her sister, and she's trying to destroy the organization from the inside out. So she's trying to get into this really elite group of girls who no one really knows who they are, or where they come from, or who's in charge, or anything like that. And she's struggling with her own morals, and she's realizing that she's not actually that much better than the girls are. So I'm currently on chapter, I believe 25 or 26. There are 47 chapters in this, so I'm doing fairly well considering I just started today, but it's an easy read. This gives me mad Pretty Little Liars vibes, because Pretty Little Liars follows this group of girls and they're trying to find out who A is, and basically this is Ember trying to find out who the Queen of Hearts is. So the leader of this group is called the Queen of Hearts. So it's definitely reminiscent of that. As far as Amber goes as a character, like, she's as you would expect, I think. I didn't expect too much from her going into this because the synopsis kind of gives us a clear picture of like who she is, and that she's a very morally gray character, and that's definitely factual. She struggles with knowing whether she's doing the right thing ever, whether she's just doing this for revenge or whether she's doing it to be a better person. Like, she's struggling, and I like seeing that, especially in narrators. I think it's fun to read about an unreliable narrator. I had like a whole speech planned, and now I just realized that I'm illiterate. I don't know what I was planning on to say other than I really like it. I do plan on finishing this tomorrow. I want to get pretty close to the end tonight to give myself a lot more wiggle room, because tomorrow I'm not going to have as much time. I'm done my dishes, so I will be done this little talk. Oh, great. But I will update you guys when I am finished this book tomorrow. And for now, I am just going to go put some sweatpants on and continue reading this story. Hi, do you guys have the cinnamon dolce latte?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a tall one of those? Is it possible to get those iced?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, can I get that, please? And that's everything.
All right, 5:35. See you at the window.
Thank you. First thoughts. It tastes like Christmas. I did just finish these Vengeful Hearts, and I really liked it. This was a 5-star read for me. I had so much fun reading it, and the fact that I got so far into it the day that I started shows how good it is, because a lot of the time I don't read 43 chapters of a book the day that I started. The plot was really interesting. Like, every single element made sense, and it was fun, and it was tense, and it made me want to keep reading. Like, every little like event and situation that happened made me want to keep reading the story, which I love in books, especially like mystery type stories. And I think These Vengeful Hearts did add something to that genre. The main character, Ember, the only real character we learn a lot about, is very, very much a morally gray main character, which can be hit or miss. But in this case, I thought that she was a very realistic main character, because she started realizing the problems about herself. She started realizing she wasn't perfect. The plan that she was trying to make, it wasn't going according to how she originally thought it would go. So I liked that aspect of it. I liked her as a character. I thought she was realistic. I liked the way that we were taught about the Red Court. The Red Court is the group of girls that take down these other students. It was a little unrealistic at times, because how can like one group of girls, no matter like how studious they are or anything, how can this one group of girls actually like really take down this entire like anybody they wanted to? Really, like, that felt unrealistic to me. But at the same time, I liked the way that Catherine Lauren did it, because she ended up being able to expose the flaws of the group, as well as showing us how it ran and where its weaknesses and strengths lied. I thought that was really interesting. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. And I always really like a high school setting. Like, I know I'm not in high school, and high school was literally the worst time of my life. I like a high school setting, because I feel like something interesting always happens at high school, whether or not it's in a book or it's real life. And I think that's what we got here, and I really liked that as well. In terms of the ending, I don't necessarily know if I loved the ending. I liked the way that the story itself ended, but the epilogue ended on a very cliffhanger-y ending, and I don't think everything got resolved in the best possible way that I would have liked it to. I still would give it 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it a lot. I thought it was really interesting and really well done, and I'm really thankful I got an ARC from NetGalley to review. I think my mom would really like this, so I think I want to get a physical copy, because she's obsessed with Pretty Little Liars, or she was at one point, and this screams Pretty Little Liars. I'm super glad that I started with this book for this vlog, and this definitely fit the prompt that I said it was going to be for. The book that I want to read next is Now Is Everything. That is the one about the girl who comforts her sister and tries to keep her safe from their abusive father. I don't think I'm going to start it today. I might start it tonight. Should I just update you guys when I'm like halfway through? I think that's what I'll do. I think I will update you halfway through Now Is Everything. So I'll update you twice per book, and then at the end, when I'm updating, I will just tell you guys the book that I'm reading next and when I'm planning on starting it. I will shout at you guys when I am halfway through Now Is Everything, which I don't really know when will be, but I will try to do my best. So I am halfway through Now Is Everything by Amy Giles. This book is incredible. Like, literally one of the best books I've read this year in terms of mental health and sociology, and it is hard-hitting, and it is impactful, and it is powerful, and it's so much. There are so many different levels to this story. The story is told in a then-now perspective, which sometimes I don't love. But with this story, it actually works very well, because there is an event that we're working up to, and I still haven't like even gotten to it, so I don't know what that event is. But there's an event that we're working up to. There's an event that starts this book, and right away it's hard-hitting and powerful, and it just kind of grasps you immediately. I do think it's an important story to read. I will put content warnings in the description, because I will definitely say that there are a lot, and if I'm correct about the event that might be happening, then that is another content warning that I will definitely be putting into the description. So keep that in mind and check those out if you do want to read this book. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm going to update you when I'm done. I am going to try to finish this today. I was also planning on going mini golfing today, but I don't feel like it, so I'm going to try possibly on Friday or Saturday and to go with Noah. That's all I have to say. So this vlog is turning out well. Maybe I should read like a Taurus more often, because this is working out fantastically. So I just finished Now Is Everything. I pretty much finished it in one sitting from when I last talked to you guys, and I was right. It is a 5-star book. I loved pretty much everything about this story. It was heartbreaking, it was moving, it was a lot of what I wanted it to be, and I really enjoyed that. It followed such a different format from what I'm used to in terms of the then and now, especially lately. I haven't read many books like that, so that was a little bit hard to follow at times, but everything was woven in to each other so perfectly that it all made sense in the end. Everything from the then and now made perfect sense, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Do you have something to say?
I love you.
I love you too.
The food is in the chicken cacciatore's in the oven. Hello.
I don't know.
I can't floss.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
In terms of characters, I think all of the characters are exactly what you would expect in this type of story. I think we can all sympathize with Hadley in everything that she went through. Hadley is our main character, and her younger sister Lila too is a hoot and a half, and I really like her. And I mean, the mom and the dad, you're not supposed to like either of them because they're unlikable. They're written to be kind of despised. And in terms of like side characters, we do have a boyfriend who is awesome, and I love him. He's so supportive, and I loved that aspect of it. And then we have her two close friends, Noah and Megan, and Noah's a fantastic friend. I really like him. Megan, I'm not the biggest fan of. Megan, I think she is a little too self-centered, and I don't love that in friendships. This book just hit me in so many different ways, and I don't want to say a great time reading it because I didn't have a great time reading it. I was upset reading it, but it gave me that reaction that I feel like the author had wanted to get from me, and I think that's really important. So I do love that aspect of it, and I can't wait to pass this book along to other people who might be wanting something to read a little bit about mental health, a little bit about some sociological aspects. I'm not totally sure what I'm going with next. I think I want to go with Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Skelsa, I think her name is, because that one also seems really sad, and I think that's the vibe I'm in. But I'm also supposed to be starting Radio Silence because like my friends have finished it and I'm buddy reading and I haven't started. Actually, no, I'm going to start the Fans of the Impossible Life. I don't really know how far I intend on getting into the story tonight or tomorrow. I'm just going to read as I feel fit to read. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will update you halfway through Fans of the Impossible Life, and bye. So I'm halfway through Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Skelsa, and I like it. It's a good story, but as a whole, the story is falling a little flat for me, considering I just read Now Is Everything, and that was one of the best books I've read this year. I feel like this just doesn't live up to that level of fantastic. I have a problem with some of the ways that they are describing things. There are different, like, sections of this where it feels like she's trying to be edgy just to be edgy. Like, there's a lot of, like, talk about sex, and in a very weird way, in a way that it's obvious that it's an adult writing about teenage sex. And I hate that. And the last thing I want to touch on is that Mira, our main female character, is plus size. I feel like she's in the same level that I am. I'm not upset that I'm plus size, like that is part of my identity, but sometimes I'm like, what would it be like to be skinny? I feel like she's like that. That's the vibe I get from her. But what sucks is that her entire family is trying to make her skinny. And I'm just really tired of fat characters being fat shamed and being told that they need to be skinnier by friends or family. Fortunately, Mira's friends are fantastic and they're not like telling her that, and they're like,
eat fucking Oreos, girl. If you want to eat Oreos, like, live your life, sis.
but I don't love that her mom and her sister specifically, because I don't even think I've met her father yet, they think that her depression is solely based on her weight. And this is a character that I can relate to on so many levels, because I am plus size, I have depression, and I was told that my depression is because of my weight when I went to see a doctor. So it's just like, that's just not true. Depression has to do with chemicals in your brain that aren't firing correctly. Wires were not crossed in the best way in your brain. It's not based on pounds. Like, you don't say that to a skinny person. You don't go, oh, you're depressed because you're skinny. Like, no. People are depressed because they have depression, and that's a part of their brain that was just wired differently than someone else's. And that really bothers me, that this is kind of how they're acting toward Mira. I would have loved the fat rep to be just a little bit more happy. Like, Mira herself is a great fat main character. Like, she's great, but the families, I wish I could read a book where there was a fat main character, but the families weren't trying to make them skinny. I would like to see just some wholesome fat rap as well. I think that would be fantastic. I actually have a video coming on that next month, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that is all I have to say so far. I do really love the friend dynamics. I think this is one of the best friendship books I've read in a very long time. So I am going to try to finish this tonight because I do like the story. It's going by pretty quickly. I think it's sitting at like a 4.5 or a 4-star right now. I'm not totally sure. I will chat with you guys later tonight when I finish. And then tomorrow I get to start Radio Silence. So I just finished Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Skelsa. I am settling on a 4 out of 5 stars for this book. I had issues with it. I will say it does kind of get a little bit confusing at times because they switch between present and past so sporadically. Like, it just happens every once in a while and you're like, is this a memory? Is this actually happening? And sometimes it happens mid-chapter, and I don't know if it was the format I read it on because I read it on Kindle, but like, I felt a little bit jumbled and I couldn't quite understand what was going on sometimes. The characters weren't unlikable. For once, I'm reading a book where all the characters were actually likable, minus like side characters that are made to be unlikable. But the 3 main characters, Sebi, Jeremy, and Mira, they're all lovely characters and I really enjoyed them, so that was great. I will say that this book could be very triggering to some people because there's a lot of derogatory words toward gay people and lesbians, and also the dad, he pretty much invalidates Mira's experience with depression because Mira has severe depression, and the dad just keeps saying, oh, well, like, you're just lazy, you just have to pull your weight around here. That did bother me reading it. It didn't like affect me a lot, but it pissed me off. It's definitely not the best book I've read this month, but it was actually really great. The friendship within the story was fantastic. I will say the ending actually sucked dick. Like, it was literally the worst ending. I'm not gonna say anything, but the ending was trash. I literally thought my Kindle had like malfunctioned because I was like, there can't be this few pages left. There's so much to resolve. You know, I guess Kate Skelsa was just like, we don't need to resolve anything. It's totally fine. And that bothers me because this ending was like not good. I am going to start Radio Silence finally tomorrow. So I'll try to get, I don't know, halfway through tomorrow, maybe more, who knows, we'll see what happens. But that's the goal for tomorrow for Radio Silence. And I'm also on Friday going to be watching 16 Candles, so it's gonna be a party. So I am 50% of the way through Radio Silence and I like it a lot. It's fun, it's a cute story. I feel like bad things happen because my friends who have read it are like, oh my god, I'm heartbroken, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I love the friendship between Khaled and Francis. I think it's so cute and it's so pure, and I love reading about friendships so much more than I love reading about romantic relationships because I feel like a healthy looking friendship isn't shown a lot, especially in YA, so it's nice to see a healthy friendship. I do plan on finishing it today. I think I can do it. I'm going to work for 6 hours and then I'll be home, and I'm pretty sure I can finish it all. It's easy to read because there are podcast elements and there are a little bit of like texting elements. So it does make it go by a little bit quicker. But yeah, I'm ready to continue reading and just try to piece together what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. This is a great pick to buddy read, and this is a great pick for this vlog. Bye. Okay, so I am officially finished Radio Silence, which means I only have one more book left for this vlog. Where do I begin with this story? I'm such a sucker for friendships. Like, I love friendships in stories. I think it's so incredible to have strong friendships represented, but oftentimes you do not see them between opposite sexes. If it has a platonic friendship, it's often with a girl group or a guy group. It's not that often with a girl and a guy without them falling for each other. What are you doing? Love you. I really loved the characters. I found Francis to be so relatable as a character. Other characters that we see, we do have Aled, who I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't love at first, but I can understand completely where his situation is coming from, where his attitude, where his mannerisms come from, and it's explored a lot more in depth throughout the story. Who else do we get? We have Daniel, who is like head boy, and I like him. I don't know, I guess all of the characters are just very relatable. They're very real. They feel very much like each part of them I've also experienced going through high school and transitioning from high school into secondary school. I didn't love that it was so focused on English schools and the English school system because I'm literally the dumbest human being and I don't understand what GCSEs are. I don't understand what A levels versus B levels are. Like, I don't understand because that's just not how my school system works. I always read it and I never know, but I feel like this was so heavily involved in school, and so that kind of like bothered me slightly because I didn't understand it at first. And then I also didn't love how they talked because there were a lot of times where they would be like, yeah, haha, or yeah, or yeah, and I was just like, I don't know what that means. Like, why are you talking like that? So that's not okay. That I didn't love, but ultimately, this is a great story. Frances and her mom have the best relationship I've ever seen parents and teenagers have in young adult. I was so impressed. Frances and her mom remind me of me and my mom because it was just me and my mom growing up, and she and I became so close, and she supported every decision I did. I did settle it at 4 out of 5 stars because the way that they talked really bothered me. I didn't love the English school setting. Also, there was a dog death that really like impacted me, and I was reading it at work and I was like, oh my god, and that was hard, so I didn't love that either. But other than that, yes, it was very good. The last book that I have to read is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I'm very excited to be almost done this vlog because it's low-key killing me inside. I'm going to be watching 16 Candles tomorrow. I'm having a lot of fun reading like a Taurus. I can't wait to do this for other star signs and just like have fun. But The Female of the Species, I'm really excited for. I've had it on my shelf for a very long time now, so I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. That's the goal. Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to like set myself up for failure. But yes, I'm going to start that. I will tell you guys when I'm 50% of the way in, like I've been doing. And that's it. Bye. I'm about to start watching 16 Candles. I'm gonna eat popcorn. I'm gonna watch the movie. I'll like update you or show clips, or I don't really know how I'm gonna do this, but yeah, we're doing it. So woo! I'm in a really good mood because I just got accepted into my program of choice at a university.
Think they like us? Definitely.
Can you turn that music down a little bit? I'm a first-time driver. I really need to concentrate. Excuse me. Stop that. It looks like hey, better put the top up. You stop that. You get us in a lot of trouble doing this. It's the car. We really got AAA on it already. Just a moving.
got this.
Huh? I don't know. I'll have to look. What's wrong? Are you in here?
He's
Sorry.
destroying his body right now.
I think he's special to you.
Thank you.
No, you can see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're both on the pill. Can you break it hotel?
So I'm finally halfway through The Female of the Species by Mindy McInnes, and it's very good. I don't think I've ever read about a character who was so morally gray. Like, I've definitely read morally gray characters, absolutely, but I'm really used to reading about either like a damsel in distress, which is annoying, or like a badass heroine who saves the day. I'm not used to reading about a girl with such violent tendencies, but using those violent tendencies to stop evil men. Like, it's so morally gray, and I really like it. I've had a few issues with the portrayal of guys in the story. Every single dick that we've come across, minus the father of PK, has been a huge piece of shit. I don't think that's a fair portrayal because not every guy is that bad, and it's also to the point where there's so much animal death and it's in such descriptive detail that it has really impacted my reading experience. Especially at first, there was like an entire page on puppies and how they died, and there was an entire little like inner monologue about when a dog gets put down, what happens, and then like cows getting killed and then pigs getting killed. It's been a lot for me because I hate animal death. Yeah, I am halfway through. I was going to try to finish it this weekend. My goal was actually to read it all yesterday, but I didn't read anything yesterday. So I will update you guys when I finish this, probably tomorrow. I'm almost done. This has been a journey and a half. This video is going to be so long. Oh my god. Okay. Bye. That's me and my reaction after reading The Female of the Species by Mindy McInnes. I'm so upset at the ending. I'm just so angry at how it happened. I don't even know what to say. Like, I read it so quickly. It was such an easy read. I like breezed through it, but it was, oh my god. There was so much potential, and I feel like the ending was used as like a shock factor, but in reality it just made me angrier and more upset. Like, I don't even know how I feel. I stand by everything that I said before. I didn't love all the animal death. I didn't love the depiction of men in the story. I just thought it was really unrealistic. Those were really the only like negative things I had to say, I think, on the first one. And I guess at this time, really the only negative thing I have to say is the ending, because the ending really just didn't do it for me. I just wanted so much more and I got let down. This is a great book. It's a powerful story. It brings a lot into question. It explores some really fantastic themes. It has a really good plot. From start to finish, we just get so much of Alex's journey as a person who was hell-bent on revenge to a person who now has friends and is like in a relationship, and it's fantastic to see. Characters were fantastic. I loved Alex. I thought Alex was a great main character. She was just so morally gray, and there was so much about her that I wish I could have gotten more into, but it was a short book, so I didn't get the chance. And PK is her friend, and I really like her. She's a great person. She is a fantastic character all on her own, and I loved her. And Jack is a dick. I don't know. I didn't really have any feelings about Jack. I just thought he was like an okay love interest. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the story. So I'm officially done reading the books for my Reading Like a Taurus vlog. I feel good about it. I read some fantastic books. The first book I read, These Vengeful Hearts, was a fantastic story. Pretty Little Liars type revenge story. Really liked it. Really interesting. I gave it 5 stars. I had a great time reading it. I can't wait to get my hands on a physical copy as it was an ARC, so loved that. The next book I read was Now Is Everything by Amy Giles, which is a heartbreaking story about abuse, and it really tugged on my heartstrings a lot, and loved that story. Also gave that 5 out of 5 stars. Fantastic. Fans of the Impossible Life was the next book I read by Kate Scalza. I don't totally remember what I gave this. I think I gave it a 4 or a 4.5. I think it was a 4, but it was a great and very powerful story about friendship and how friendship plays such an important part in people's lives. The next book I read was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This is the first Alice Oseman book I've ever read, and I was not disappointed. I thought it was so well done. I thought the exploration of platonic relationships between opposite sexes was fantastic because it's not done enough in young adult contemporary, and I loved that. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because ultimately I didn't love all of it. And then finally, the last book I read, The Female of the Species by Mindy McInnes, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. So overall, this reading vlog has been so successful. I did not think it would be this successful. I'm dying to read something that's not contemporary because the last 5 books I've read have been contemporary. That is everything I have to say for now, and thank you for tuning into this vlog. I hope you liked the format. I hope you liked watching us play mini golf and drinking coffee drinks that I would not order and watching a movie that I would never watch typically. And until next time, bye readers!